Hey, Carnival Cruisers. Welcome to Coach Cruise. I'm your host, Brad, and as you saw from the thumbnail, this is going to be a ranking of the top 10 free eating venues on Carnival, excluding the XL class. And what's going to be fun about this particular video is not only is this going to be a rankings of 10 down to 1, but we're doing this in a side-by-side comparison or side-by-side ranking with our friends over at Funnelheads. You see I have the Funnelhead shirt on, representing my friend over there, Andrew. And yeah, well, let's get to the rankings right after this.
I just can't get away from a good time.
Hey Coach Cruisers, Andrew from Funnelheads. If you want to see a correct ranking video, you'll head over to my channel. Of course, after you're done watching Brad's. I'm just kidding, but hopefully we do see you over there in the comment section or perhaps on a cruise one day. Catch you later.
Okay, so I don't know quite how to respond to that, but I will just say this: we're gonna win. We're gonna win. So put in the comments at the end of this rankings here that why you agree with my rankings more than you do with the Funnelheads, Andrew. Okay, so let's start off first. Number 10. Now, here's the scary thing, because I like to win. I'm afraid I'm going to scare a few of you off right in the beginning because I have some favorites ranked very low, and that might make me lose. But I'm going to share my reasoning here, so let's get started right off the bat. Okay, so some of you know that the ships that have a Cucina Capitano on it offer a pasta selection for free at lunchtime, and it's called the Captain's Pasta Bar. For the ships that actually have a Cucina restaurant, you would go into the Cucina restaurant to get this free pasta. Anyway, honestly, I've never even done it. And it's not because I don't love pasta. I do love pasta. And if I'm going to eat it, I'm probably going to eat it for dinner. I try to, like most people, it's losing weight and keeping weight off. It's a constant struggle, and carbs are the death of me. So that's probably more the reason that I have avoided Cucina for lunch is, I'm going to save those carbs for my desserts and things like that at dinner. So I haven't, that's why, not that I don't like it or don't think it's a great choice, but I have that at number 10. So let's get to number 9. Okay, and then this one for ships, and most of the Carnival ships have Guy's Sea Day Barbecue. It's on the outside, usually on the panorama deck, and they have like almost like a trailer setup in which they have 2 different stations, each station serving the same amount of barbecue. They'll have some brisket, they'll have some chicken, they'll have some sausages, they'll have some pulled pork, a variety of things that you can choose from, along with some greens, some mac and cheese, things like that. Now, when this first came out, I was super excited to try this out, and it was on the Vista, I think was the first ship that I tried it out on, and I got to tell you, it was really, really good when I first had it. For whatever reason, it seems to have lost some of its flair. I was trying to think of the reasoning why it doesn't taste as good as it used to, but the only thing I could come up with is maybe when it first came out, they really wanted it to be a hit, so they were using prime cuts of beef, and maybe now they're using choice cuts, and maybe that's why it's not quite as good. Now, I have eaten it a few occasions just to see if it's gotten any better. And some of the meats, like, oh yeah, this is pretty good, and I like the sauces and things like that, and the greens, I found are consistently pretty good. But when there's other eating venues that I know are going to be a hit, it's just like I'd rather go to lunch here, or I'd rather go to lunch there over the barbecue. So I have that at number 9. Now, this next one's really going to get me in trouble with a lot of you as far as rankings go, but I'll explain my reasoning, and that is the Pizza Pirate. I have it number 8. The reason being, and here's one thing I'll say, it would be much higher on the list if we talked about hours that it was available, because at 1 a.m. when that's the best option that you have, as far as food goes, maybe the only option, it would shoot way up the list real quick. But if we're talking about, over the course of the whole day, all the hours included that all the other food is offered, I can pass on the pizza most of the time. I'm from Chicago. I mean, for those of you that haven't been to Chicago, Chicago has some of the best pizza in the entire world. So, we have just fabulous pizza, and Carnival Cruise Line pizza is very good, especially, for a free pizza. You just go up and you can ask for a whole pizza and they'll just give you a whole pizza. It's very good, by comparison, I think, to probably a lot of the states that some people come from. But, when you come from Chicago, like I said, it's like coming from Texas or something, that has a great barbecue, and then you go to the guy's barbecue and you can tell the difference, right? It's just not near as good. So that's kind of what it is with the pizza for me. All right, coming in at number 7 is the Lido Marketplace Buffet. I know a lot of people go to the buffet and they eat all of their meals at the buffet. I, for one, it's not that I don't like when I have eaten at the buffet, it's been all right. It's been good enough, I guess you could say. It hasn't been like, wow, this is amazing. Although I have had a few things that I thought were amazing, just not on a consistent basis. I just think, as far as eating venues go, there are better options out there on the ship. And, especially, like if you're dinner, for example, if you have your choice between the Lido Buffet and the main dining room, I just feel like the quality of food is a little bit better in the main dining room, the service experience, everything else like that. But if you're in a hurry or you got a big night planned of activities, the Lido Buffet could be the place to go, because you just wait in line to get your food. You can eat real quick and be done, right? So Lido Marketplace definitely has its pros and cons, but I have it at number 7. Now we get into the places that I really eat at almost every cruise. I will go to each of these places probably more than one time. And the next 2, actually, I have tied for 5th because I couldn't separate them. And that is the Deli and the Mongolian Wok. Let me just start with the Deli. The Deli has a variety of hot and cold sandwiches, and there's probably about 7 or 8 sandwiches on the hot side and about 8 sandwiches on the cold side. And there are just some really, really good choices and good sandwiches available to you on both sides. And and they're quality. I mean, it's usually quality cuts of meat that are being used, or if you want a spicy chicken sandwich, for example, they now have a steak and cheese option. They'll even give you some cookies and some fries along with that. And one thing that I like to do is when it's a port day, if we're getting off the ship late, is we might go to the deli and grab a couple sandwiches, wrap them in a napkin, and take them to the beach with us. And then, we got a nice, great snack, actually, that we can enjoy on the beach. All right, so now let's get to the Mongolian Wok. The Mongolian Wok, if you're on a ship that has a GG's on it, the Mongolian Wok, GG's will become the Mongolian Wok at lunchtime. And basically you will get served your stir-fry choices for lunch, which you pick the veggies and stuff that you want, you pick the meats that you want, and you just check it off on a little sheet of paper, and you'll have a waiter or waitress take your order. You give them the little slip, and then after a little while, they bring you out your lunch that you requested, your stir-fry choice. Now, on a lot of ships, the smaller ships below the Vista class especially, it's available in the Lido, on the Lido deck alongside the buffet. You'll wait in line, and they have a variety of chefs with a number of woks, and you will hand them your bowl of veggies, and they'll ask you what meat you want. You tell them what meat you want. They add that into your veggies, and they cook it all up for you, and they just hand it back to you when it's done, and there you go. I like the combination of meat and veggies. It makes me feel a little bit healthier about the choices that I'm making, and it tastes as good. It really tastes good. It's a little different Like I said, it's a good combination of just tasting good and a little bit healthy because of the veggies and stuff. So it makes me feel a little bit better about things. All right, so let's move on. Number 4 is the C-Day Brunch. Okay, now that is available in the main dining room and it is free. Okay, it is free. And, you know, on this menu, one of the choices you have, for example, is steak and eggs. And you could order a couple orders of steak and eggs. Now, if you do a third main entree, they're charging you $5. But yeah, it's free. I mean, they have a variety of huevos rancheros is another favorite. You can get chicken and waffles. Now, they did cut a lot of things out of the C-Day Brunch menu recently, you know, just this past year. And it used to be much better. It might have been as high as number 2 for me if you'd have asked me this, you know, a year ago, because of all the great offerings. For example, my wife, Anita, she would get this seafood tower and you would have your choice of all these different, you know, like tuna salad, shrimp salad, what are some of the other salads? But you know, they would serve it with a bagel and you just spread it on your bagel and it would be really, really tasty. I'm a big fan of the banana cream pie. That is still available on the brunch menu, and they have hamburgers and they have pastas and they have a variety of things available for brunch. So that comes in at number 4 for me. Now, I have another tie because I just couldn't separate the two. And for some of you, I'm guessing you might be thinking, you know, like, wow, Guys is tied with what? The Blue Iguana Cantina. Okay, so the Blue Iguana Cantina and Guy's Burgers come in at a tie at number 2 for me. Reason being, Guy's Burgers probably would have been 2, arguably number 1 for me. I feel like they've gone just a notch down in terms of what it used to be. I can't quite put a finger on it. It's still excellent, you know, quality, especially for free. When other lines are charging for their hamburgers, you can have as many Guys Burgers in a variety of different ways that you want. But it seems like they're just, I don't know, it's just a little half a notch down than what it used to be. And the Blue Iguana Cantina, I feel like I never gave it the love that it deserved. And on my most recent cruise, coming off the Carnival Breeze, Lawrence, the cruise director, was talking about his favorite thing to eat on the ship, and he mentioned the tacos from Blue Iguana. And he said how he liked to do them, and he would just, you know, throw as many toppings on there, you know, all the different toppings that he liked, and, you know, just throw down on some tacos. And when I was in a Q&A session with them, I was like, man, that sounds good. You know, I'm going to go get some tacos after this. Sure enough, I did. I got an ice cold beer, and I made myself, you know, 4 tacos, and I loaded those suckers up with a bunch of ingredients, and it was money. I mean, it hit the spot. Those were some of the best tacos. Not to mention in the mornings, and this is a great idea on port days as well. You can go over there and get a couple breakfast burritos, wrap those up in a napkin, take them with you to port. Like if you're going to the beach or something, you know, I mean, you know, and you didn't have breakfast, but you grabbed those to go. Maybe you weren't hungry or something. Well, you know, you're going to be hungry at some point. You got some good breakfast burritos there for yourself to eat later in the morning, you know, and soak it up with a beer or something like that, right? So yeah, Blue Iguana Cantina has moved up the charts and tied with Guy's Burgers for number 2. So my number 1 free place to eat, you haven't heard yet, is the main dining room. Okay, the main dining room is free. There's some people that never go to the main dining room. I'm not sure why. Now the menu changes daily, so you can always access that menu on your Hub app and see what they're serving on that particular evening. One thing that's great about the main dining room is, especially on cruises of 6 nights and longer, they have free lobster. Okay, so one night, one of the 2 formal nights, it's usually going to be the second formal night now, they will serve free lobster tails, and you can get 2 of those for free. If you get a third or a fourth, it's going to be $5 each additional time. But yeah, free lobster, and usually they'll have something like filet mignon or prime rib to go along with that. Sea bass is another option I've seen on there frequently. So they have a variety of really, really good choice items that you can choose from, you know, on those nights. So, and then, you know, like the last night, the traditional now is to do baked Alaska. They've brought back that tradition. That's a really cool thing to see. And most every night they have their chocolate molten lava cake. And most I'm sorry, I can't even talk. Most mornings they are serving breakfast as well in the main dining room. Now, it's not as an extensive breakfast as what you would get on your C-Day brunch, but still there are a lot of tasty offerings there. So that's it. That is your rankings. And what I would like you to do is I'm going to put the link to the Funnel Heads top 10 rankings of free food in the description. So it will be very easy for you once you go into the description of this video to find that link and click on it, and that will take you right to his video. And you can watch his video and see whose video you agree with more. And I would appreciate you telling me that, but also telling me what you thought of my video and where your rankings would lie. If you could put that in the comments, I would love to hear it. Obviously, our tastes are going to be different from one another. So, you know, what I might have at number 8, you might have at number 1. What you might have at number 1, I might have at number 6 or something like that. So I'm really curious to see what all of you out there think of the food on Carnival and how you would rank it. So let's blow those comments up. And if you're not already a subscriber to Coach Cruz, I sure would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button before you leave, and the like button as well. And this has been a fun video in collaboration with my friend Andrew over at Funnelheads. And don't forget to go check him out. And until next time, we will see you all later. Take care.
Any bad than the incredible team that are out there that do such an awesome job.
Oh, sure.
And secondly, and this one is huge, like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you know when this man is posting more videos.
I appreciate that you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lee.
I just can't get away from a good time.